Bum, bum, bum. Ba, da, da, da. There we go. Oh, you guys can't hear the Christmas music either. Okay, hold on 1 second. There we go. There we go. There we go. Good looking out, you guys. I don't know why it won't let me put those farther forward on there. How's the music compared to my voice? Is it too loud? Yeah, like, just tip that down just a hair. Perfect, perfect. Can I clear this? Ooh, I can clear it. Nice. Perfect. Okay. So, I just got back from doing my little baking episode with my mother-in-law. It went great, actually. Super, super good. The enchiladas were perfect. I may have undersalted them, but I really do prefer for people to salt their own food. Because I prefer, like, I don't know, a like surprisingly decent amount of spice when I cook. Oh, I was in the middle of making a Christmas hat, but we will be making a party hat for New Year's instead. So, made enchiladas. Those were fabulous. Finally got that recipe, which, oh, I was so worried she wasn't going to give me that recipe, you guys. Like, she is such a lovely lady, but you can tell that she's, like, kind of used to doing it her way in the kitchen. And luckily that worked out. And she had a good time. I think she was just kind of, like, nervous in the beginning of it. Because you never are quite certain when you're cooking with another person if it's going to be, like, a good experience. You know what I mean? Like, I tried teaching my ex to cook, and it was one of the most stressful things ever. Like, I think I would rather eat live scorpions than do that again, personally. So I totally get it on her end, but by the end of it, we were having a great time. I think by the time we got to the coconut cake portion of the adventure, it was phenomenal. Like, best time ever. And the coconut cake, guys, the coconut cake. Oh my gosh. I almost took a square of it out myself because all of it was so good. Like, the frosting was delicious. The batter was so good. Oh, she's like, Riley, this is a lot of food. This could feed like 20 people. I'm like, I hope so. I hope it feeds an army. That's kind of what I'm used to doing. Like, my grandmother cooks a ton of food too. But, I mean, that makes sense. She comes from a family of like 11 kids. So like typical Italians, right? And so when she cooks to have like leftovers and to like go home with people and stuff like that. And I think it's just, you know, being used to having to feed like 100 people. So I think I kind of inherited that a little bit because for years, my roommates would be like, oh my God, you made so much food. And I'm like, yeah, that's how much food people eat. And they're like, no, that's not. I almost ruined one Christmas because I ordered like 3 times as much ham as we needed, which, by the way, not that much ham, regardless. I did like half a pound of ham per person, right? Like, that's a totally normal amount of ham for people to eat. Surely, that's what you would put on a sandwich, is it not? And so I ordered all of this ham, and then I ended up having just like a human head-sized amount of ham still left over by the end of it. And I'm like, bro, like, what am I going to do with all this ham? And they're like, why did you order all of this ham? We're not going to eat all this ham. And I'm like, I asked you all if you wanted ham, and you said yes. And so then I had to get super creative with the ham, and I borrowed a slicer, and I sliced some of the ham and then froze it. And then I cubed a bunch of the ham as well, and I made this really good BLT soup, but with ham. And that was pretty awesome. Everybody loved it in soup. But yeah, I mean, I think the solution is probably just to like make less food from the beginning, but it is also kind of nice to like figure out where the food goes after you make too much of it too. That can be its own little challenge. I'd rather have too much food than not enough, for sure. This is such... Getting these started is such a nightmare. Okay. So this is my little magic circle with this annoying little tail for some reason. That's the most annoying part, is this little tail that doesn't really belong here, but is here. Because this yarn doesn't really like to be pulled. I feel like if this was like a stronger tensile strength yarn, it would be better. Yeah, okay. I guess try that again. So we have to link these. We have to link these two. Pull that through. Okay. And then one more. Okay, so now I have like an adorable little star here. I'm gonna pull that. Ba, ba, da, ba. Hello, hello. Okay, so we already made on the last kind of crafting stream. This is the first one we made because I was just trying to get rid of all of this teeny tiny white yarn, and I think it's pretty cute. This one fits Squirrel the best. I got a really cute photo of Squirrel's little boyfriend cat with this on, and it looks really cute, but it's not pulling the red when I try and make it a sticker, so it just looks like it gives him like a little white yarmulke, basically. And that's kind of not the vibe I'm going for with these Christmas hats. So then I made this one, but I need to better secure the top on here. I think the little palm, I think. And basically what I'm trying to do, here's this sneaky little bit here. I don't think I can find it, but I'm trying to like sort of do like one of these situations with these hats, I think, for the cats. That's my plan. But also, it's almost New Year's, so I got this fun yarn right here, and I'm going to try and make them some party hats. I think that'll be fun, because I think we're kind of like, overdoing it with all of the Christmas garb. Here is, I finally got that white string that I was looking for. Hello, welcome. So, oh, also, just a reminder, you guys, I can't remember if I put it in the description or not. You do get a +1 for watching on Twitch since we're trying to do our affiliate stream. I think we can make it before the end of the year, and that'll be really cool. So then when we do little, like sort of, I know that this is normally like a full long stream day, but if we do affiliate, I think it opens it up so that I can like schedule out even further these like shorter streams so that you guys can, know well ahead of time, because I know you guys don't like impromptu streams. Totally feel that. But this is the finished little pumpkin pie. I tried to do a sparklier like whipped cream situation, but the yarn for that is just awful. And I think I've bought that before and come to the same conclusion, but every couple of years I have to relearn that lesson, it appears. And then you guys picked mixed berry pie for the berry pie. So here we have our little mixed berry pie. And it dries, like, honestly, pretty nice. Because you have to, I'll show you guys again kind of how it starts. So, I'm so behind on this. This is probably going to have to be like a Valentine's Day gift for her or something. This is turned out way lighter than I wanted, but it's this like sticky paper kind of that you print your design on and then you stitch it, and this is water soluble. So I don't know if it's made of like plants or something like that, but it just melts off of here, and then you're just left with your design that's like slightly sturdier than it was before. And if you guys want to see how the coconut cake turned out before I finished editing this video, because I got like hours of footage for our little cooking stream. Not all of it usable, but that's just how it goes. And it looked really nice, you guys. Like, honestly, if you're going to like a winter themed like holiday party or anything like that, the coconut cake, first of all, delicious. Like, before we even put the frosting on it, the cake is just like so scrumptious and moist. And then with the frosting on it, we did like a cream cheese frosting, but then just like a nip of coconut in that as well. So it's pretty heavy on the coconut, but like not overtly so, I guess, if that makes sense. And then when you put the sprinkled coconut on the top, it looks like fresh fallen snow. So also if you had like a winter birthday, I was saying what I would do is I would do the cake, obviously, and then the cream cheese frosting, the sweetened coconut, and then I would make like a little teeny pot of like gray icing in the cream cheese or whatever, and then I would pipe on like little snow boot prints, and then put like an adorable little, like, I bet if you, what are those little like desserts that are white and they're like rolled in coconut? What are those? I want to say it's like a zinger, but I could be wrong. Let's see. We can find that. Packaged coconut dessert. Like a little Debbie snack or something. And it's not snowballs, which was, I mean, honestly, you could even do like little macaroons. Yeah, I guess just like a coconut macaroon or something, maybe. But you could make like a little snowman. You know, you make like a little snowman and you put his little eyes and like a little nose of carrot. And then it's like a little Christmas cake, like happy winter birthday. So cute. Ooh, you know what I should also make? Some coconut flan. That'd be freaking delicious. Like instead of caramel, do like more tropical coconutty. Tasty, tasty. And yeah, it turned out super good. Instead of using milk for the, it was kind of like a, not a sponge cake, would it be? Maybe sponge cake. I think we basically made like coconut sponge cake. And instead of using water or milk, we used coconut milk. Guys. I might just have to tell hubby it didn't work out so that neither of us get into it before we take it out. Because it's delicious. It's gonna take so much willpower to not get into that before I drop it off. This is mostly why I don't make these desserts. Usually what I do, but the travel element of this was what led us to the cake pan decision. So originally we were going to make a layered cake. And the best part about layered cake is usually there's like bits that you have to cut off to like make it all uniform in its little tower. And that's the best part of layered cakes, is you also have like scrippets of cake. And sometimes I make those into like cake balls and stuff like that, which is pretty fun, like little cake pops and stuff. But when you make it into a sheet cake, there is no extra cake. It's just all cake. Oops, all cake, in fact. And then you can't eat a little cheeky bite of cake before you give it out. This is the struggle of baking for others. But what I would do is I would just make a ton of little cakes. Like I would make tiny cakes. So I do like maybe like one 6-inch cake or something like that, like a 2-tiered 6-inch cake. And then that would have enough batter to make like a little like 3 to 4-inch cake, like just a one little 3 to 4-inch cake. And then I'd have a mini cake that I'd be like, I'm just going to make sure this cake is up to snuff before I take it over. And then you don't have a bunch of cake in your house. But the original cake for others is pretty and nice. Pro tip. Same thing if you're going to make like an entree for people. Like I ended up doing, what did it end up being? I think it ended up making 7 enchiladas. So there's the 6 enchiladas within the pan. And then it made like an extra one. And I'm just going to give them that. Because we have plenty of stuff that we're going to be doing. But if it were any other situation, I would have like a little tiny mini enchilada. Because you have to make sure that all the flavors are good and this and that. And then I would I would make that tiny enchilada in its entirety, like the cheese, the works, right? And then you taste it. So even when I make like meatballs or something like that, I cook one before I put everything else in the oven, and I make sure that all of the flavors are like properly melded. Because I have been in a situation where I put chili powder instead of cumin, I think. Wildly different flavors. That was a learning experience, let me tell you. Usually those things go kind of hand in hand in a recipe, but sometimes you need one and not the other, and then it's a whole, you have to do like backwards chemistry to make sure all the flavors go back to how they are. But congrats on you guys's winning the coconut cake for your Wordle goal. That was awesome. I had a lot of fun making that, actually. And then you guys were talking about tiramisu in the Discord chat, which, actually, if you guys aren't in the Discord chat, let me just pop that in here for you. There we go. Just go ahead and feel free to join the Discord. It is 18 plus, so no minors allowed. But I'm on the Discord every single day. I might not stream every day, but I'm on the Discord every day. And we'll be making more stuff. Like I said, this is all kind of tied to the How to Cook Like My Mother-in-Law cookbook project that I'm working on. But I have not forgotten. I am still working on finishing the teaser chapters for Moon and Marble and Sun and Steel. Initially, I think I was going to do like random chapters or whatever, but I think I'm going to start with the meet cute for both of them so that you guys can see both sides of that. Because I don't want to spoil some early like plot stuff that I'm doing. So those will be out on, I think I'm going to drop those on Christmas. I might have to manually drop those on Christmas because I don't know if it'll just like pre-release it or whatever. But I'm going to do my best to drop those on Christmas. One more, I think. I'll round this out. And then so far, we have had no votes on the holiday Christmas stuff. So as it stands, we're doing Violent Night. Then we're doing, let's see here. So far for the Christmas movies, we've got on Christmas Eve. We're going to start those probably around like 8-ish, like normal. And we're going to do Violent Night, Better Watch Out, and then probably OG, like Frosty the Snowman. Physical copy of Where the Feedback Ends. I still don't have a physical copy yet, but I will let you guys know the moment I do that. I still need to get back my my proof copy from the one ARC reader girl that I dropped that off at. And then I'll be able to like redline that and make certain that, by the way, AE, I still owe you a couple of levels from that. And I have a bit of a manic system to keep track of that. So that'll be fully figured out. And then I have, like, I think a few minor tweaks to the formatting on the cover to make that perfect, because I noticed some irregularities in that proof copy. Because I was, like, rushing to get that out. Do you record audiobooks reworks? No, but that is in the works in the future. Hubby used to work in the music industry, so having like a quiet recording room is in my future plans. But I'm not a voice actor, so that'll take some doing. Plus, like, I think it'd be fine for some of the characters to be in my voice, but I just kind of like have a vision for like how they sound. And I'd be absolutely fine with like auditioning some voice actors for that and stuff. But there's going to be 22 books, so that'll get kind of pricey, depending on how quick I end up putting these out there. And I kind of got ahead of myself on the drive over to my mother-in-law's. I wanted to maybe put out the idea there that maybe you guys like write a book with me. Like, not in its entirety. I'm not trying to give you guys a bunch of work to do. But like, you guys pick from a couple of different characters, and then we frame a story around that. Like, you guys pick the villain, and you guys pick the main character, and then I craft a story around that. But I am a bit backlogged right now. I do have to finish Moon and Marble and Sun and Steel. That's the duet I'm working on right now. And then I'm kind of haphazardly working on this cookbook thing. I don't really want to rush my mother-in-law. She just got into retirement, so I'm trying to let her enjoy that as much as possible. So I'm just kind of going to sporadically be getting recipes from that, and then that'll kind of snowball. But I already know how to do like newsletters and like keep people abreast of those things, so that'll probably be fine. And then I have to make book 2 of the Born in the Eternal series, Thirst, which I think you guys are really going to like, especially Max. I think Max will be into that. There's a little bit of BDSM type of stuff in there, so that'll be kind of fun. Because we have like an assassin sadomasochist character in there, so I think that that'll be kind of fun. Don't ask me why he ended up that way, that's just how he is. And then in book 3, we kind of have, I don't want to spoil it, but we have kind of like a yearning, like I miss my wife kind of vibe in book 3 that I'm really excited to write. I haven't decided if I'm going to include like a prequel, like time, like back in time situation to explain the history and stuff. Maybe I'll do that as like a DLC. But that is in the works. And then before I write book 3 of the Born in the Eternal series, I really want to write like a cheeky little like Hallmark movie style like saucy book about an orchardist, because I would like to be banned from my favorite orchard. I think that that's probably good lore, and I'll do it for you guys. I'll do it for the plot, but I think that that'll be kind of fun to be like infamous locally because of that. And who knows, maybe that guy will be cool with the kind of notoriety from that, but maybe I'll just have to have like secondhand peaches delivered to me because of it all, but who knows. I'm definitely gonna deliver a couple of copies of that to the library. That'll, like the local library, can you imagine? Do a book signing and be like, yeah, the character just came to me, and it's like a line by line copy of an actual person in real life. I think that would be pretty interesting. That would drum up some small town gossip, let me tell you. That'll be fun. Because I was thinking of also doing like a spooky, like a saucy, like spooky book, like Cabin in the Woods sort of vibes. But I haven't decided if I'm gonna like romanticize a bad character in that, or if it's gonna be, you know, like what is now what I would consider cliche, where it's like the bad guy's actually not a bad guy, he's a good guy. But generally, I'm not like a great big fan of books that are like, ooh, he's actually like a sexy murderer, because like murderers are low-key gross to me. But like maybe like a masked, like morally gray man or something as like the villain in one of these books. Not sure. But I also considered doing like kind of like a racially spicy book. But I think that's probably not in the next 10 books. I think that can be book 11 maybe, if we can get the plot devices to match. But I think it's a little racy. I think it's a little racy for the current time period. But, you know, just something that's like not been written before that could be kind of interesting to explore like literarily. But I think we should probably get like a couple bodies of work under that before we get some like Nick Fuentes type saucy books out there. I think that'd be I think, first of all, that would be a unique genre, and it would be a bit tongue-in-cheek, but I don't know, you guys. I think that'd be a little too spicy some content. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I just made, like, a Nick Fuentes, like, Candace Owens yearning, like, romance novel? I'm sure it already probably exists at this point, but sometimes you shouldn't make a book just for the meme of it, but sometimes you absolutely should make a book for the meme of it. But you never know. You never know, guys. I mean, I already created a cult. What's like a risky novel? You know what I mean? And we are marching ever closer to having a crime board style with the red string and all behind me of like what's going on. Because I'm not a big fan of writing, like having the screen up, because I feel like that's super spoilers for stuff. But I think having like plots and stuff in the back with like a sticky note covering like super big stuff would be fine. And it kind of just helps me keep things like organized in my brain. And then let's see if you guys have figured out what you would like to play for the next games. Let's see here. It looks like so far The Walking Dead is winning. So we'll probably be playing The Walking Dead Telltale Stories next, because that seems to be in the lead. So we're going to get another, probably like another Vengeance Quest situation going on. You guys seem to really like those. You know, which is surprising to me. I did not expect that you guys would like watching me play games as much as you do. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate just like all of the followers from this year. I guess it's not quite the end of year yet, but I don't know. I'm just feeling grateful. You know what I mean? It's an interesting time. I mean, if you'd asked me like a year ago if I would have had like 2 novels out, started a cult, and you know, essentially became like basically like a streamer for my second job, I would have been like, yeah, sure, that's crazy. But I'm sure my family also felt that way when I became a stripper, though. Like, this is probably like karmic justice for that. If I have to be honest, I think they were less shocked by that than they are now. Because when I told them at Thanksgiving I had a cult, they were like, oh. Because now it's like, literally anything I do, they're like, I think they thought initially when I told them that I was going to be a dancer, that I was like pulling their leg. And then now everything I say, just like, they just get this like horrified look on their face, and they're like, oh. And I'm like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. You know what I mean? I've never called you guys for bail money or anything like that. Like, trust the process. Trust the process. And in like 10 years' time, when me being clumsy ends up with me like with an eye patch, they'll be like, oh, that was... And I'm like, yeah, the prophecy, you guys. Like, it is what it is. You guys are always so concerned when I bring that up. And I'm like, listen, I wouldn't be as worried about that type of stuff if I didn't have a dog with one eye. It just happened. Have no idea how that went down, but ended up with a dog with one eye. And then when hubby and I got together, mother-in-law has a cat with one eye. And I was like, shut up, you can't be serious. And he's like, yeah, she's like a street cat. This is what it is. And I was like, this is spooky. So, I mean, things happen in threes, you guys. Eventually, you know, something, some other thing in my life is going to have one eye. And if I had to put money on it, it's probably me, because I'm very clumsy. And I do a lot of work with like, just like scrap iron. So I should probably wear more protective equipment, but you know, it is what it is. If it ever happened to me, I would not be shocked. Let's just put it that way. But I think those are probably those kinds of conversations that I've been talked to about, which is like, normal people don't talk about this, Riley. you're a nut. And I'm like, am I a nut? Or am I a visionary? I have had mildly prophetic dreams, so never know. Ooh, that was particularly pepperminty. Perfect back end of that. Ooh. Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, bum. But just in case anybody is wondering, I do have plans to make every single one of my books an audiobook, a physical copy, and a digital. Well, the digital copy is, I guess, just kind of like digital copy, step 1. Step 2, paperback. Step 3, audiobook. And eventually, my goal is to have them all be humans that read them, because robots are super, super dumb. Of all the things I'm prejudiced about, clankers is probably going to be the number one, because everybody keeps lauding this AI and this and that. It's like, oh, it's so amazing, it's so fantastic. I'm like, it's fine. Like, if you saw the way that I would talk to these robots, I don't think I would be permitted to speak to a human like that. But I also wouldn't speak to a human like that, because despite how incompetent some people can be, which I have met a lot of incompetent people in my life, unfortunate, I know, these robots are so many times more incompetent than any person I've ever met in the planet. And it's like shocking to me. People are like, this is the next frontier of technology. And I'm like, if that's the case, like, we're screwed, because ridiculous. Like, and I'm not saying that that's maybe going to be forever, but it just does not seem feasible, like, just from, like, a huge aspect of that. Especially in, like, a creative sphere. Like, do you think that AI could write a Quan Mills book? Shout out Quan Mills, best-selling author. Can't wait to read this Ho Got Roaches. That has been in my book club list for a while. Very excited to read that. But yeah, it's just crazy, you guys. Crazy, crazy. Oh, I also wanted to let you guys know that we are in negotiations right now with a romance bookstore in Idaho, and she would like to carry some of our books. So, working on that as well. And hopefully we can get that negotiated by the time I have Moon and Marble come out, because that would be really cool. I think Moon and Marble would be the best book to adapt to the screen, personally. Like, my goal is to make it, like, at least 3 times as good as Twilight. And I always complain that there's not enough, like, Asian, like, actors in film and stuff like that. Like, obviously, I'm not, like, a super big fan of, like, race, like, swapping characters and stuff. That kind of pisses me off. But I think in a situation where, like, the background of a character is relevant to the story, I think, which, I mean, it should be, right? But a lot of times they're just, like, for example, when we were playing The Last of Us, and it's just like, oh yeah, Riley's a black chick, and Riley's a black chick because Ellie has to be in an interracial relationship. And I'm like, okay, so she has to be in an interrelational relationship and be a lesbian. And it's like, okay, sure, fine. But then she's like, I braved the front lines to, like, get these water guns for you, and, like, I could have died. And I'm like, whose girlfriend is doing that? Find me one lesbian that is risking her life for water guns in a post-apocalyptic world to do this, like, weird performative male bullshit, to be like, I risked my life for you, give me a crumb of affection. And it's like, okay, like, I'm not saying it maybe doesn't exist, but I'm like, no. I've done some pretty shameful stuff to get a girl's attention before, but wouldn't be doing that. Let me tell you right now. And I am a pretty pretty masculine chick when it comes to dating other women, and I would not be doing none of that. Let me tell you. And throwing rocks at cars in the mall and stuff like that. There were just so many behavioral things in that game that just did not make sense. And I'm like, have any of these writers ever actually dated a woman? Like, are any of the, and I'm not saying like the men or whatever, but it's like if there were indeed lesbians on this thing, like, were you doing that with your girlfriend? Is that why you wrote this in here? Like, because if it's a self-insert, I could be like, okay, that's kind of a niche experience. That's not actually how we be getting down. But you're trying to tell me that this is what you think lesbian girls do to hang out, and I'm like, no. I said, now if, once again, I have no problem with interracial relationships. If you know me, you know my work. But if Riley had been black, which, by the way, don't even have to change the name. It's an androgynous name. How awesome is that? I think storyboard-wise, Riley did start out as a boy. And that, I will die on this hill. I'm certain that started off as an African-American boy character. And they were like, no, we need more lesbians in this series. We need more lesbians. Lesbians are hot right now. And that's why behaviorally that scene is like really like clunky. Like, it doesn't make sense. The whole like performatively like, let's throw rocks at this car, like, you know, like trying to like do like gamify this date or whatever. I'm not saying I haven't done stuff like that before, but like to that level, to that degree, just came off a little bit strange to me. And then you know, like the teasing, the back and forth of that, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what y'all are doing when you're dating women, but that's just saying, like, that doesn't seem like the norm experience for that. So, I get so off topic with The Last of Us. That game just, like, honestly is going to be something that I harken back to for a long, long time of a game that I will just, like, this is going to be like a trigger for a crash out for like years to come. That game made me so mad. But if Riley had just been a boy character, I feel like that would have been so much better. Like the whole like, just ask me to stay. Like, that's what I want you to ask me right now. And then she's like, stay with me. Like, I think it just really would have, like, it's cornball. It's cornball, but, like, it works. You know what I mean? It's cornball because he's, like, this whole time, he's not just, like, getting to the point. And then he's just, like, a moment of vulnerability where he's, like, I just, like, want you to want me to stay. Which reads very feminine. But in a private moment with your dude that's, like, a younger, like, teen boy or whatever, I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, listen, we've all done cornball shit when we were younger because we liked someone, okay? Like, that's just, like, kind of, like, the way the youths be, you know what I mean? So that makes sense. But I just, God, that game makes me so mad. That game makes me so mad. You guys were so clever for picking a game that would just, like, instantly trigger me. I think that you guys were like, how can we rage bait Riley into playing this game that'll just, like, drive her crazy? And then that last line where Ellie, like, is, like, fighting with the Rattlers, and the one guy's like, yeah, we picked up a girl, like, a month ago. Arms like mine. And this guy is, like, a solid, like, he's gotta be, like, 160, 200 pounds, like, somewhere in there. I don't know how tall he is. I'm not very good at, like, height-based weights. Hubby is great at it. He can, like, almost nearly down to the ounce be like, that person is 172.6 pounds. And I'm like, holy shit. Sometimes we play that game when we are at the fights and doing weigh-ins and stuff like that. And he's, like, undefeated. It's insane. But he's like, oh, yeah, she's got arms like mine. And I'm like, be for real. Be for real. Where is this bitch finding Trembladone in a post-apocalyptic world? I don't know if I can say, like, the name brand of that or whatever. But, like, where is this girl finding gear in a zombie apocalypse. I can't handle it. It's too crazy for me to just be like, yeah, it totally makes sense. Like, absolutely, she's just gonna be just jacked to the gills in a post-apocalypse. Please. Be for real. Now, I would believe that if also every other dude on her team is just like Schwarzeneggered out. Like, I'd be like, alright, fair enough. But I'm telling you right now, from the beginning of that game, I would have sworn to you that Abby was the trans character. Would have sworn on a stack of NDAs, probably. I don't know what you swear on now. But would have sworn that was the trans character until they are like, hey, this is Lev. This is the trans character. That made me mad too, but hear me out. Abby in The Last of Us 2 also lived in a football stadium, so there's probably room. Yes, there's a weight room. I'm not saying she didn't work out, but when we meet Abby, she's at the Firefly Hospital, and she is string bean to the max, right? String bean to the max. Then there's a period of time between hospital and wolves, right, where she's having to work out. And no, scratch that. There's a period of time between Fireflies and the Wolf Stadium, right, where she's having to travel, which means that she doesn't have access to 200 grams of protein a day and a weight room. So there's a period of time where she, like, couldn't possibly have been working out because she's having to travel. So let's say, for sake of argument, in this 4 years, one of those years is taken up by travel. If you just, like, remove days between all these other things, she's having to travel. She's having to go in, and I'm including, by the way, in this year of her having to travel from the Firefly place in, what is it, Salt Lake? Firefly place, Salt Lake, Seattle. I'm including in that her initiation into the wolves, where she's like going through their regular training and stuff like that. So there's no way she's putting on like a lean 100 pounds of muscle in that amount of time. In 3 years. And supposedly she's like the #1 Seraphite killer. So that means that at least half of that time, right, she's got to be sleeping, right? She's got to be sleeping at least half the time. And let's say not half the time. Let's say that, for sake of argument, she can sleep with only 8 hours of sleep. So a third of that time she's sleeping. And so that leaves her 2/3 of a day for 3 years to work out. When is she doing all of these runs, right? Because she's like the top Seraphite killer in the wolf encampment, right? She's like the lead mercenary for the wolves, right? She's risen through the ranks, but she didn't start off there. So chances are she started off doing runs like everybody else, which means she couldn't have been working out there. So take a small percentage of that 3 years and put her having to like go out and do runs and stuff like that. And we'll say maybe they're not putting her on like super high level things. So it's like kind of like light work situation, maybe, for sake of argument. And then let's say even from then, by the way, I'm not great at math, but like I'm not this fucking bad at math, right? So let's say, for sake of argument, just ignore all of these other responsibilities that she would potentially have in a large scale organization such as this to rise to the ranking that she would then have. Yes? Let's say she's working out 4 days a week for 3 straight years. You can't possibly tell me that she's just gigantic like that, natty, working out like that. She couldn't possibly be. Now, I would believe that if she was like much larger 4 years ago, but she's like doubled in size. And if you look in that like gratuitous sex scene, right? She basically has the same character build as Owen. You know what I mean? Now, I know women that work out with men. I know women that weightlift. I know all of that. Like, I know women that are in like professional, like martial arts, like sports and stuff like that. Generally, they have a bigger lower body build, and they tend to go into like kickboxing and stuff like that. But let's say, for sake of argument, she's just powerlifting arms. but she'd also, once again, proportionately, because she's pretty proportionate, right? Like, she's built like a fridge. Like, she's built pretty square, Abby is. So, even then, like, a certain portion of her workout time would have to be dedicated to legs and, like, core and stuff like that. Because if you look at her, she's just, like, dead solid muscle. And from neck to knees, dead solid muscle. Didn't get a good look at her calves, just letting you guys know. I'm just saying it's unrealistic. I'm not saying that she couldn't possibly be, like, genetically superior to 99% of the planet or whatever. I'm just saying that there's no way from her character model 4 years ago that she doubles in size and is solid muscle. You feel me? That's just bananas to me. So, like, I will suspend disbelief for a video game, but that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me that she would be that built in only that amount of time. And I guess it'd be one thing if her dad wasn't a doctor and he'd just been, like, militantly training her since she was a child to be, like, an Olympic level bodybuilder. But, like, I just don't see it. You know what I mean? And usually women that are powerlifters, I don't see them having her physique. They've got, like, a little bit more in the middle. You know what I mean? They're just a little bit different proportions than Abby from The Last of Us. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Is it's just a little bit too strange for me. You know what I mean? And then to get all the way to the end and have such an unsatisfying ending like that. Just, I mean, I'd probably lose sleep about that for years to come. Because so many people told me that game was peak. And I really think that if there were, like, a few minor tweaks in that game, I would also consider it peak. Like, for example, if they had gone the route of letting you choose which one of your paramours you were going to have, like if you got to choose between Dina or Jesse, that would have given it a full star rating, in my opinion, because you're still rivals with one or the other of them. You know what I mean? They're still, so for example, hypothetically, and this is not just my headcanon here, okay? Hypothetically, if you had been allowed to pursue Jesse instead of Dina, if you got to pick which one you went on patrol with, and, like, everything played out exactly the same as it did, it was just, like, the opposite character, which I am not a game developer. I don't know how difficult it would be to code all of that. However, say for sake of argument, that was even a possibility. You would still, at the end of it, have to be like, he would potentially have left you for Dina, so that could have still been, like, you could still potentially end up alone by him being, like, this whole Dina subplot that nobody knows about, right? And then, in the very end of it, like, if Dina had perished, the weight of, like, you've both, like, lost a pregnant friend, like, the scales would have technically been balanced, but, like, in a horrifying twist of fate. You know what I mean? So there could have been, like, an additional psychological element, and it's like, from a game that will force you to murder dogs, like, I guess you can not murder the dogs. I understand that. But, like, if you lack skill as I do, stealth is not really an option in some of the parts of the game. And so, like, you're essentially, like, put in a position to, like, do these murders, essentially. So, you're telling me that the people that coded that into the game have some sort of an issue with, and absolutely, by the way, circling back, they did have a weight room, like, confirmed they had a weight room in that football stadium and in the hospital. Like, there's tons of weight rooms that they have access to throughout, like, this zone that they're in. And they have, like, a huge track. Like, you could run on the track and all that. Hi, Runs. Do you want to say hello? Maybe you say... Oh, hold on. Oh. Sure. Let's just say that that's her revenge body, and she just, like, has gotten to a point in her career as a wolf that, like, for, I guess, 3 solid years, she just lives in the weight room, right? Like, that's all she's doing is working out. I don't know. I just don't think that it's that feasible, but once again, I'll suspend disbelief for it. But the fact that, like, nobody addresses that's, like, kind of ridiculous for her to have that build is just nuts to me. Like, maybe it would soften the blow for me, I guess, if, like, maybe her roommate Manny was like, like, you know, it's crazy seeing you out of the gym or whatever. Like, make some sort of, like, allusion to the fact that this bitch just lives in the gym, I guess. Like, I know that it's physically obvious that that's the case, but, like, I just don't think that they, like, put in the scaffolding for me to, like, just see this monster of an ox of a woman and be like, yeah, that tracks. Like, it just didn't square that circle for me. But, yeah, you know, I guess, and, like, most of the time when you see girls that are, like, jacked like that at the gym, it's because they're professional bodybuilders, and I think if you go into, like, the culture of bodybuilding, they're not doing that, you know, necessarily all on their own. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can forgive my apprehension to believe that she's just 100% beefcake. You know what I mean? Crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. I guess it would also help to know how tall she is, too, because she seems quite a bit bigger than Abby. Like, how tall is... Or, she seems quite a bit bigger than Ellie. How tall is Abby? Last of Us. She's 6 feet tall. Okay. How many women are in the world are 6 feet tall? Yeah. So, less than 1% globally. And yeah, so she would fit into 0.1% of the world worldwide based on her height and weight. Now, to me, that seems a bit unbelievable. But I could just be being a hater. That's entirely possible. Never forget that I am a straight up Abby hater. Like, start to finish, which is ironic because one of my best friends is Abby. But it is what it is. If she ever sees this, I'm crashing out because of The Last of Us. I love you, boo. But it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely nuts to me. But, you know, I mean, overall, I guess the game wasn't bad. The creative directions that they went with that game irked me. I would say that. I loved the monster designs. I loved that. Really, really liked that in the game. Thought that was super awesome. Like, just the concept of, like, mushroom zombies is really cool. It kind of makes me want to play more of a, like, spore necromancer. Like, even more. I think we were talking about that cryptid when we were doing, our, evil run of Baldur's Gate. Like, a spore necromancer would go super hard, especially in the Underdark. Yeah, that would be rad. I think that's honestly the next one I'm gonna do, just like in honor, I think, kind of The Last of Us. I think that'd be really, really cool. What day is today? Today's the 22nd. But yeah, I'm hoping that we get a little bit more realism with The Walking Dead. I think that would be pretty cool. I've never played the Walking Dead Telltale series. I think looking back, I did play the Batman Arkham, I think they did, with Telltale. And I think, didn't they do a Game of Thrones as well? Like back in the Disney. They did, ooh, Wolf Among Us 2 is on here. Oh shit, when is it coming in? Come on, don't, Wolf Among Us 2, don't tease us. It's so messed up for you guys. They're just like constantly edging us with this game. It's pretty messed up. Because I would love to play The Wolf Among Us 2. Honestly, I would like to read the comics because I enjoyed that game so much. I would read the Fables comics, I really would. Coming soon. Oh, you bastards. Unbelievable. Can't believe they would do us dirty like that, you guys. And so I think what we're gonna do for The Wolf Among Us, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, again, okay. Enter this CAPTCHA, crazy. Security code. Does anybody else get like super tired of all these security codes to everything? Like I get why we do it, but also like if you've ever had your account hacked, it's like it's kind of like besides the point, you know what I mean? And they geotag us anyway, so it's like okay, you know, like you've been tracking my movement for the last like 16 years basically. Like, you know what room in my house I'm in. Can you just, like, be cool and let me sign into my accounts, please? Like, crazy. Yeah, to be determined. Oh, you bastards. But for The Wolf Among Us 2, when that finally does come out, I think what we're going to do to get in the zone for that is we're going to play kind of the bungling detective version of The Wolf Among Us. And that's how we'll kind of get into the spirit of that game. Yeah, so let's see. I played, for sure, the Batman Shadows. I played Batman Shadows, Telltale. Or no. Did I play Enemy Within? I think I played Batman Shadows. I think that one was the one. I think that's one I did. Then, Then I also played. God, I could have sworn that there was a Game of Thrones Telltale. Yeah, they did a Game of Thrones Telltale. They must not have enjoyed it because it's not on there. I don't know what the deal is with that, but we played the Game of Thrones Telltale years ago. That was pretty dope. I love that like style of game too. I almost played Dispatch, but honestly, guys, I'm pretty souped out on superheroes. You know what I mean? I'm kind of all souped out. So I'm sure that that'll change. I'll like work my way back into, you know, being down with superhero games and stuff like that. But I've had like too many yeah, it's so good, right? Like I get it, like. Because the people that made The Wolf Among Us, they cooked with Dispatch, I'm not gonna lie. But I think that it'll continue to get better over time, and I like I'm not like super big on playing games like right when they come out and stuff. I like to let them kind of like percolate, you know what I mean, before I get into them. And I like to also, in a way, sort of challenge myself to not get spoiled on it. Like, for example, I went this entire time. The Last of Us came out when? Both parts. The Last of Us. The Last of Us, no, not the show. Game. The Last of Us came out, The Last of Us Part 1. Is that for real? When did it very first come out? The Last of Us Part 1 came out in 2013. So for a solid decade at least, I did not get spoiled at all on that game. And that's quite a feat, let me tell you, especially with a game that's like very, very popular. I didn't get spoiled on Fallout either. I still have not played through Fallout New Vegas. I don't know any of New Vegas lore or anything like that. So that is going to be fun. I really hope that Bethesda does something about why it's... I got it. The Last of Us. I got The Last of Us 2 spoiled for me like a month after it came out. Yeah. See, and that sucks, but like... Do you think that, like, if you spent enough time, you would, like, forget that you know those things, or no? Do you think it's just, like, once spoiled, always spoiled, kind of? I think I'm just gonna sew this together, actually. Oh, my tower of nonsense has collapsed, you guys. I'm gonna have to deal with that. Yeah. Yeah, because I was hoping... Oh, you know what? I'll use the sparkly thread, actually. I'll use this terrible sparkly thread to sew this on, maybe. Maybe that's what I'll do. That should be enough, surely. No, this thread is awful. Just terrible. Well, I'll surely make that mistake again. Absolutely gonna make that mistake again. But where did I put my winter white thread? There we go. And pop that over there. And I didn't get spoiled on Baldur's Gate either. There were like a couple of things, I think, like how to fight the Minotaur and stuff like that, that I think I learned before I was supposed to know it. But for the most part, pretty easy. I think, honestly, I just kind of get lucky with that stuff. Like, I think if it were anything else, it would, like, if it was a movie instead of a game, I think it would be much more difficult to not get spoiled, but okay, so this is straight up and down. And now I need it to be like 90 degrees. Okay, so now I got our pom-poms secured. And then I will just kind of sew it onto here, actually. I think that's the way to go. Oh, one of these way longer than the other one. That'll be a problem. Whomp. Yeah. Do 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 do. Ba ba da ba ba da. Ba da da ba ba da da. Bum bum. Ba da bum bum bum. Ba da da ba 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 da. Ba think I could just sew it at the top here and it wouldn't be too big of a deal. Whoop. There we go. But too much cotton. Because, like, I've also done a pretty good job of not getting spoiled on Chainsaw Man the Rize arc. And that's been out for, like, a good minute now, yeah? I think I could get away with. Cottony. There we go. Get that on down to the white. But yeah, so plan for some more unhinged nonsense in the new year. Very excited for what we have in store. And I mean, there's tens of thousands of games, you guys. I mean, we could play for another 100 years and not go through all of them. Isn't that crazy? The amount of content that's out there that's just like waiting to be created. It's insane. Now, hopefully, I will do a good job as a leader to you guys, and I will not only keep up with my writing deadlines, but also provide you guys some very stimulating video game content as well. Which I never really intended on doing both, but I mean, so far so good, you know what I mean? We've been doing like a really nice blend between the two of them, which has been nice. And it just kind of gives my brain a break also when I'm writing through these plots and stuff like that. Because, you know, you sort of get into like kind of a groove of it writing, and then you'll hit a wall, and then it's just like, you know, I think a lot of people get into, you know, just the kind of writer's block of it, and that'll drive you crazy. But luckily, we've been taking really good measured breaks, and so far that hasn't happened. I've been still having some pretty good like creative windows and stuff like that. And ideally, as we progress, these writing deadlines will get shorter and shorter as my ability to speed through these improves. And then ultimately we will have a ginormous collection of works. I have considered writing a werewolf novel on that ride today, because I was driving through the fog and I was like, ooh, this is spooky. But then I was like, I don't know. Am I just trying to make a werewolf novel because, like, this atmosphere is spooky, or does it make sense for the character to be a werewolf? You know what I mean? Maybe not. That's maybe a little bit vague, but I did find a place to put Bingo. So Bingo is absolutely in that series that I'm thinking of doing. There we go. That little pom-pom's on there a bit better now. But I figured out Bingo is going to be a cat. Initially, I was certain Bingo was going to be a dog. But Bingo is a cantankerous cat owned by an old woman in a spooky cabin. And I just need to figure out why this cabin is so dang spooky. And then that will be novel number, I think 7. I think that'll be 7 or 8, somewhere about. And then I thought about writing a meet-cute sort of novella, just a little short, cozy novel about a guy that's in love with a dry cleaner. I thought about writing that. I thought that would be kind of cute. Yes, hello. But I think I'm gonna let you guys vote on them. Like, if I get enough of like a skeleton to these books, because there's so many that we're working on writing, I think I will let you guys vote which one comes out next. Just because there's a lot to focus on, and I feel like if I do it the haphazard way my brain wants to do it, then, I mean, we could be stuck on things forever. So, like, for example, Moon and Marble, that one got jumped to the front of the line because so many of the ARC readers requested it. That was the one that leapt out to them from the book promos the most that they enjoyed. So I will put that out, and then I think as time progresses, maybe I'll put out a bonus novel for that as well with one of the side characters, and then I think that one has the potential to be a 3-book series as well. Although I'm going to have to learn about classical music, more so about classical music, to write that 3rd novel for that book. Because that one is in like a music setting between a violinist and, I don't know if it'll be a violinist and another musician or not, but I think that is going to be book 3 of that one as well. Guys, I don't know if this is Christmas music, but it's low-key making me kind of sleepy. A little bit better. That one's a little bit better even. That last one was kind of sleepy, you guys. Why do I have all these drops for Marvel Rivals? What's up with that? Oh, are the live stream dates done? Those end yesterday? That's crazy. I didn't know the holiday streamathon was... Is the holiday streamathon done, you guys? God, it shows how much I pay attention. No, they're still doing stuff. Dashboard, analytics. What are some of these games, you guys? These are wacky. Do you guys think that scary games are like some of the most popular? You guys are real sadists. That's crazy. You're like, I must see the characters. I must see the streamer scream. That's wacky. I mean, I guess that tracks. That would be the most stimulating, probably. It's like, you know, it's like when you go on a roller coaster on a first date. You basically form a trauma bond with the person, but you're like, I'm in love. Wacky. That's so wacky, you guys. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so Wednesday, just guys, give you a little heads up. We are going to do a holiday hangout before we do our Discord movie night, just so that we can get our average viewers, and then we will retire to the Discord, and then we will be watching Violent Night. I keep forgetting these movie names. We'll be watching Violent Night, Better Watch Out, and then the classic animated Frosty the Snowman. And then we still have some spots open. Yeah. So on Wednesday at 8, I think 8. There's no reason to wait till 8:30. It's just like gonna probably be just a teensy bit earlier, which you guys will probably appreciate since I'm always so late. We'll do like kind of a holiday like hangout for the first I think 30 minutes or so, and then at 8:30 we'll start with Violent Night. Then we'll do Better Watch Out, and then we'll do the Frosty the Snowman animated series from let's see, Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snowman from 1969. Absolute classic. 10 out of 10. And then we still have a few spots open for the day after Christmas movies. So make sure to put those in the movie recommendations in the Discord. I think we have 2 spots open for that Friday stream for movie night. And then so far, it looks like we're going to be playing The Walking Dead. The other game that we have available to play after the holiday season is also Killer Frequency. It's like a detective situation, but you are a radio station DJ. So if you'd like to sway those odds, go ahead and head on over to the Discord. I believe that poll is in... I think that poll is just in announcements. I think it's just in the general chat, actually. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so the next stream game is in the general chat. So far right now, The Walking Dead is winning, the Telltale Walking Dead, and then Killer Frequency was the number 2. And then if you would like me to play a different game, and you want to sway the votes or whatever, we also have an other option category so that you can choose the next game we play. And that is all on the Discord. Let me just pop that into the chat arena right now. Okay, there we go. So there's the link to the Discord. Go ahead and join the Discord. So far, the holiday stream is a little wonky. So on my Twitch, I have put the dates on our streaming schedule, just so you guys kind of know what's up with those. Let's see, go to the channel, and then... Oh, is there not... Can I, not look at the schedule on here? Where's my... Is it under stream summary? I guess I don't know how to look that up on the Twitch desktop. But I put all of the dates so that you guys kind of have a better picture of what we're up to on what day. And then after the holidays, after the 28th or whatever, I think it's the 28th is when this video finishes out. Yeah, after the 28th, business as usual, we're just going to go back to what we've been doing, which is Monday and Friday streams, and then I'll have bonus streams in there as well. If we can get 2 affiliates by that week, I'll be able to schedule out the bonus streams, so you guys will have more than a single day's notice for that. And that, I think, will be really helpful for everybody not missing anything. So, I think that's probably a good time. I think it's probably good to cut it off here. Normally I stream much longer than this, but it has been a long day. We did some cooking with my mother-in-law, so this, I think, you know what we'll do? Maybe we'll watch the Rize arc on the Discord in like an hour or something like that. I think we could probably get through that. So if you haven't already joined the Discord, head on over there. We'll do, yes, what is it? What is it? I'll take last minute requests. Yes? You are a scamp. But probably gonna head on over to the Discord. I'm gonna actually make some dinner, actually. I've been just like staring at enchiladas for the last like 4 hours and I'm starving. So I'm gonna make some dinner. We will reconvene on the Discord in like an hour and we're gonna watch the Rize arc for Chainsaw Man because I've been dying to see that. So we're gonna finish that out and I will see you guys there, and I will see you guys for the pregame, the holiday hangout pregame for the Christmas Eve movie night. Thank you again, and I will see you guys